14 of the NFL. And we'll get a look here at Trey Lance, as he's moved past 3,000 yards passing for the year and looking for more. It's the 49ers and the Cowboys on Monday Night Prime Time.
It is a part of the country that could definitely use the rain, but it's also going to make for a very wet track tonight here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Tonight, we culminate pivotal Week 14 with a great Monday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Gaud alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Cowboys in this matchup. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass. He didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. So roughing the passer call is accepted, and this officiating crew not making very many friends here with this crowd.
Yeah, we all know that everyone accuses the officials of kind of playing to the home team, but not in this case. They're just trying to administer the game the way it's supposed to be. That drew the flag.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. The numbers for Zeke from last week, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. In this case, he picks up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Diaz. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. It's caught. Smith. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll come to the line here, needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Diaz. Off play action. And the Niners get there and bring him down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 18. he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Niners at 9-3 here on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. So roughing the passer penalty and an automatic first down.
And that's the mark of a bad team, partner, because that's an easily preventable penalty, but they just didn't take the proper steps to make it so.
They run over center with Mitchell. And some room to maneuver. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
On play action, Lance. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Lance going to try and throw on third down here. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
5 yards from the end zone, 1st and goal. And Lance going to throw. Throw left side, going to be caught by Chenault. Touchdown! Laviska Chenault with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they begin at the 25. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And this one quickly to Lamb. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Diaz. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. This defense for the Niners, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And every defensive team that we talk to, They spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And now a low liner. I think he mishit him. And no return here. Where will they spot him? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And a short pickup to about the 25. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot.
The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. 8 yards to go on second down. From the 25 on second down. Lance. It's caught. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On second down, Elliott once more. And a short gain down to about the 33. The second down play not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Lance now on first down. This one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Lance's throw taken in by Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
53 yards rushing for him now to this point. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Slant route connects with Deebo Samuel. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Eligible receiver downfield.
Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out.
On the double.
Lance to throw on second down here. And he slings one that's incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Lance now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy by the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And some room to work. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. I'm not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A handoff left, Elliott. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Diaz. Smith catches left side. And they'll work this down inside the 30. On 2nd down, Elliott. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Troy Greenlaw in there on the tackle. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Diaz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Only needing 2 yards on second down. They fake the handoff. Now Lance. Again, he'll find Samuel for the completion. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 40. First down, here's Mitchell. Trayvon Diggs getting the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Lance to throw it. And he will find his man, Samuel. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Lance. He returns it right back to Samuel. And the Niners are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Here's Lance. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the 49ers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Santos now to add the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The final shot before break. Diaz airing it out deep for Smith. They've got his man complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. So we've hit. All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 26. First carry for James Conner. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Lance looking to throw it. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Marquise Bell.
That's interference. Defense.
They frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Lance. That one is caught by Hunt. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I see what they were trying to do there, trying to find some dead space in the middle of the field and take their shot right there. A really good idea, but it winds up incomplete.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
They start on the ground with Elliott. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Diaz. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Diaz now on 1st down. Out of his hands quickly to C.D. Lamb. Touchdown, Cowboys! C.D. Lamb, 43 yards. And the Cowboys have got it back to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Play action. Now it's Lance. He finds Kittle going across the field. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And some space here. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Now this one from about 2 counties over. After the sack, they come up on a 2nd and very long. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Lance. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Here comes the 49ers punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing to start the drive. Diaz can't get away, and he's taken down. Nick Bosa able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Looking to throw. Diaz got his man there, complete to Gallup. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll go underneath here to Elliott. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 20. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here. A little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week. Back now here in Santa Clara. 2nd and 14. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Being chased out left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming out 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On the counter, Mitchell. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. The Lance going to throw. Looking for the crossing receiver. He's got him. It's Samuel. Lance on target to Samuel for a Niner first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Completes it to Samuel. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with a bandit.
Touchdown 49ers! An 11-yard touchdown. And the 49ers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. And that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index, because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. Well, the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Dallas gets set to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he'll be out right at the 35. On 3rd down, Elliott. And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. From the pistol, here's Elliott. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Come on.
They'll run it with Elliott. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Diaz from the gun on 3rd down. Fires a slant complete to Tolbert. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 25-yard line. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw again. He's got Smith here. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Back to throw again. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the Niners are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Running left, here's Mitchell. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. On the counter, it's Connor. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On play action, Lance. He gets it to Hunt on the crosser. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 29-yard line. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Back to the ground here, Mitchell to the 27-yard line. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe to get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Now Lance on the bootleg. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
Well, Sidney, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for San Francisco, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.